You are working harder than ever, but you still feel completely broke. The math is rigged against you. Here is exactly how the system actually works, explained with nothing but monkeys and bananas.
Imagine the entire global economy as a simple, interconnected jungle ecosystem, populated by monkeys, bananas, and leaves. In this ecosystem, the absolute baseline rule is that scarcity creates value. If there is only one rare item available, it holds a premium worth. This diagram shows exactly how our system operates. The monkeys act as the consumers. The bananas are the premium goods they want, and the leaves represent the currency they use to buy them. Right now, exactly one crisp green leaf holds the exact same weight as one glowing banana. As long as this mathematical equation remains undisturbed, the system is perfectly stable. A monkey drops a leaf, takes a banana, and goes home happy. Economic stability is a balanced math equation. When the variables in that equation shift, the jungle's simple logic quickly collapses. Suppose a sudden shift happens in the jungle. Word gets around, and bananas become the trendiest, most desired item among all the monkeys. This chart shows what happens next. When the monkey demand column shoots past the static banana supply column, it drags the price line straight up. Economists call this demand pull inflation, which occurs when consumer desire outpaces actual physical availability. The physical banana hasn't changed, but because all monkeys compete for the exact same harvest, the financial price tag spikes. For the average monkey, there is an immediate negative consequence. They now have to gather and forfeit twice as many leaves to acquire the exact same piece of fruit. Popularity without an increase in production mathematically forces the consumer to absorb a higher cost. This creates the first form of systemic inflation. Consumer demand is only half the equation. We also have to look at the producer, the banana farmer. Sometimes monkey demand stays perfectly flat, but the foundational expenses required to grow a banana suddenly rise. This introduces our second variable, cost-push inflation. Consider this invoice for the farmer's raw materials. The banana seed itself now carries a massive, bold red price tag. It has become prohibitively expensive for the farmer to acquire the seed needed to grow the fruit. The farmer isn't acting out of greed. They are mathematically forced to raise the final price of the banana just to cover these new operating expenses and stay in business. In a cost-push scenario, the financial burden is pushed off the supply chain and lands directly on the consumer, simply to keep the producer from going bankrupt. Now, change the setting entirely. Imagine the monkeys discover a massive, overflowing pile of brand new leaves on the jungle floor. Because leaves are suddenly everywhere, they lose their purchasing power. This is known as monetary inflation. The currency itself is devalued by its own abundance. Seeing the high cost of goods, the monkey government attempts a flawed intervention. They artificially create even more leaves so the monkeys can afford the newly expensive bananas. This flowchart maps out a catastrophic feedback loop called hyperinflation, where aggressively printing currency drives up prices, demanding even more printing. The leaf printing node feeds directly into higher banana prices. The loop accelerates, and banana costs become entirely unmoored from reality. The system finally crashes. The government is forced to burn the worthless leaves and restart the economy from scratch using wooden sticks. Money only holds value when it is scarce. Artificially creating infinite currency guarantees total economic collapse. Pulling back from the panic of a system crash, inflation isn't necessarily a threat to you. If your income scales at the exact same rate as the rising prices, you remain perfectly stable. The poor monkey sits still. By hoarding a static pile of leaves, they grow poorer every day as those leaves lose value. The wealthy monkey approaches the math differently. Instead of simply eating all their assets, the smartest monkeys plant them in the dark soil. That glowing banana quickly sprouts into a tree, naturally yielding dozens of new bananas. You cannot stop the jungle's shifting math, but by owning the tree rather than just the leaves, your assets grow in proportion to the costs, allowing your wealth to move in tandem with the changing environment.